inline styles. That's the lowest level of cascade that will override anything. What do I mean by that? I'm not talking about inline versus block elements. What are inline styles? The reason this is like this, so for example, if I have a specificity, how this is used, if I have one selector with specificity 100 and I have another selector with specificity 10, the selector with the higher specificity wins. So in other words, if this selector says it should be blue and this one says it should be red, it's going to be blue because the highest specificity wins. So bigger number is good. But I'm telling you, the biggest number comes if you get a thousandth, something in the thousandth place. So what's inline style? What are inline styles? Somebody has to know this. I'm happy to let Maria answer the question. I know Katrina knows it as well. What?
It's in the starting tag when you write
Yeah,
style
so if
equals.
I'm in my HTML tag and I put a style attribute and I put styles in here like I don't care what selectors I have in my style sheet, this is going to win. These are inline styles. That's the only way you get a 1 in the thousandth place. So let's talk about some specific specificities here. Why is this specificity for this selector? Why is it specificity 101? Can you see that in the back? Do I need to blow that up a little more? Can you read that?
Yeah.
This selector I have highlighted has specificity 0101. Why is that? Why is the specificity 0101? I'm going to keep calling it specificity with an extra syllable until you guys start answering some questions. Why is the specificity what it be?
Because wrapper's the ID and wrapper's the second number.
It's got one element selector,
And
and that's that one, and it's got one ID selector, which is that one.
Yeah.
So it's 101.
Mm-hmm.
This one is simply 100 because it has one ID selector. So if they're both trying to apply the background color to the same thing, the background color is going to be red because the higher specificity wins. How about this one? Why is this, well, yeah, there we go. Why is the specificity 0011? It's got one element selector and one class selector. Okay. Okay, so look here. So, but here's an inline style. So the blue color that's specified by the inline style is going to have specificity 1000. So the background color is going to be blue, even though these things tell it to be red and green, because this 1000 will always win. That's why that's the lowest level of cascade. Okay, so let's see what the this is talking a little bit about the normalizer style sheet. It's telling you why you should put the normalizer style sheet first, because they're all element selectors, which are 001. So anyway, so I guess there's not too much here. That's just some extra information which I'm not going to talk about. But here's what we will do. We will do the specificity exercise. And let me get, you're going to need some scratch paper for this. And let me see if I can get this in two different windows so you can see them side by side. Let me see. How could I get a new window? New text window. Here we go. Let me get them side by side. Give me a second here. So here's the HTML. And here are the selectors. I'm trying to think of, I couldn't go to my office and print this part out, but you know what you can do? Here's what you should do. The reason I remember now, the reason I put these styles in the comment is so that you can just write the specificity number there and it's not going to break anything. And then the next example, I've taken the comments out so that you can see exactly what color these specific animals are. But the question is, what color are those puppies? And you have to first calculate the specificity numbers of all these selectors, and then you have to try to see how those are going to cause these animals to be different colors. Let me give you an example. What's going to be, we'll just do this one here. What's the so when I talk about the selector, when we're doing specificity calculations, that's the selector. Now what color the thing is going to be depends upon if there's multiple selectors trying to apply the same color. The higher specificity one is going to win and it's going to be that color. But tell me what the specificity number of that selector would be. It's 2 element selectors and 1 class selector. So it would be 0, 0, 1, 2, right? 2 element selectors, div and paragraph, and then 1 class selector. So 0, 0, 1, 2. See how it works now? So we'll first write the specificity numbers and then figure out what color those puppies would be. Literally, those are puppies.
Poodle. Oldest worldwide. Mr. Worldwide.
I'll give you one hint right here. It says in one of my examples somewhere. See this descendant versus child? That doesn't count. So this is going to be 2 element selectors, and the fact that this is a child versus descendant, that doesn't matter. And also I think pseudo classes count the same as a class. So I believe pseudo classes count the same as a class selector. See this one right here? That's going to be 0, 1, 2, 1. Right there, 0, 1, 2, 1. Excuse me, 0, 1, 1, 2. My bad. This one would be 0, 1, 1, 2. Because there's one ID, 1 class, and then 2 elements. So it's not that hard once you understand how it works. But there's a couple subtleties on how they're going to apply to the HTML. So I'll give you a few minutes to mess with that.